Okay, now here's what I'm pretty excited about. I'm going to move a couple of these over. This is my table of, well, I mean, someone might say Northern European, but you really can't say that because I have Canadian, Prairie Boys Summer. I have an Estonian, that's Northern Europe, a little bit of Eastern Europe. I have a Yiddish, a Big Quiet House, a Yiddish folk tale from Eastern Europe. And I got this book I love, Jewish Humor. While Standing on One Foot. It's really a guy, puzzle stories, wisdom tales from the Jewish tradition. It's kind of like, you know, I've got a story, the guy did this and this and this while standing on one foot. Okay. I've got the Dala horse, which is, I believe, this story is Swedish. So there's a Swedish one, there's an Icelandic one, all for you Icelandic people. Norway, The Master Maid of Norway. And I may have some others, but I don't think I have any Finns. Now France and England, of course, and you'll probably say, well, why not German ones? I said, you ever heard of the Brothers Grimm? I mean, that's where all, you know, Little Red Riding Hood and the Witch and the Gingerbread Man and all that stuff. What we didn't get from the Romans, we got a huge group of stories from the Grimm brothers. In fact, they've just discovered that another man collected an even better set of old European or German, French, whatever, Swiss fairy tales, and those will be coming out. It's going to take a lot of scholarship, but the stuff was basically just left in notebooks or some old books, and no one really looked at it for a long time. Now I want to show you one thing here that I want to spend a little bit of time on. You can see my grandma lives in Gooley Gulch. This is an Australian one. You can see all the weird marsupials. And there's Gooley Gulch. It's got the, you know, got your little buddy there. The kangaroo. There's a wombat. They used to have giant wombats that were so huge that they were like, you know, horses or something. She's got a wombat hitched up. She got the little guy riding along with her there, her little favorite buddy. And it's got all kinds, you know, some of it's in color, and it's got all kinds of stories in here. There was a time, the locals say, when emus came to dine and stood about all evening drinking eucalyptus wine. They dressed for the occasion looking rather out of date and were spreading idle gossip in a less than sober state. But then a frill-necked lizard gave one ancient bird a scare, and the dinner guests all panicked, running madly here and there. Some kookaburras heard the noise and came to watch the show and laughed so much that Grandma sternly told them all to go. But by the time the fuss was over, there was not a guest in sight. But then that's the way with emus. Grandma said they're not too bright. I love this book. It has all the stories of giant furry spiders and snakes. And this is just wonderful. This is Graham Bass has lived in Australia since 1966. He wrote a book called Animalia, 1987. And he kind of was a Jabberwocky guy, you know, Lewis Carroll's books. So he's kind of lived on that. Quite famous writer from Australia. And then this one is the myth of the Aborigines. And the stories are old and new, Dreamtime. And the illustrations are extraordinary. See the pages, see the lettering. And this was written by an Aboriginal, kind of a mixed group. I mean, Aboriginal people that are well educated, but they are going back to their culture. The beginning of time. If you ever heard of Dreamtime, it's got the Southern Cross. You hear about those things, but you don't know what they are because we're in the Northern Hemisphere. The black bean, the lawyer vine, What an interesting book. I mean, you just read this and you can actually, you know, you can imagine with multiple intelligence, you could actually make a study of the words. She died in 1993, and she changed her name back. She was named as Kath Walker. And then we have Aboriginal artists here. So this is a book that's got the excellent examples of real people. They got this little cute book. I like it. It's Canadians. People don't even think about Canada. Like, well, Canada's just like Montana, only northern. Okay, it's not. It's a whole different culture. Kind of reminds you of Nebraska a little bit. Okay, we'll go to the next one in a minute.